Hey guys, you're watching Pulsan.org, and yes, the Proton X50 has finally been launched here in Malaysia. So we now know the official prices of these cars, plus we get to see the other variants other than the top spec flagship. Yes, I know we've done so many videos on the X50, but here's one more, this time focusing on the exact differences between the four X50 variants. So if you're choosing between the standard, executive, premium or flagship, hopefully this variant breakdown video can help you decide. Let's go. The Proton X50 range starts from 79,200 ringgit for the standard variant, going up to 84,800 for the executive and 93,200 for the premium. The X50 flagship with all the bells and whistles goes for 103,300 ringgit. All these prices are with 0% SST, valid until the end of 2020. The range is actually quite close to Proton's own X70, which goes for between 90,000 to 116,000 ringgit. But it does undercut its class rivals such as the Honda HR-V, priced between 104,000 and 118,000 ringgit, and the upcoming Hyundai Kona, which will start from 115,000 ringgit. So what do you think of the prices? Let us know in the comments section below. So let's move on to the specs. Unfortunately, we don't have access to the basic standard version right now, but it will look nearly identical to the executive that you see here. The only way to spot the standard from the outside is the lack of front fog lamps, which don't look too bad because it gets proper housings and not blank plastic plates that just scream kosong car. If you look really close, you'll notice the lack of front parking sensors on the standard too. But beyond that, it looks exactly the same as the executive, with the same full LED headlamps, gloss black grille with red outline, lower splitter with carbon fiber print, and silver 17-inch wheels with GT tires. The standard even gets the same rear spoiler, LED tail lamps, and quad exhaust pipes with a carbon fiber print diffuser. Inside, the standard gets an all-black dashboard, a traditional analog instrument cluster with a small color screen, cruise control, keyless entry, push start button, and even remote engine start. Not bad for the cheapest model. Unique to the standard are plain polyurethane steering wheel and full fabric seat upholstery. The rest looks identical to the executive version. One important thing that's missing on the standard are side curtain airbags, because this is only fitted with 4 airbags and not 6 like the rest of the range. It still has ABS, EBD, electronic stability control, hill hold assist, and even hill descent control. But the low airbag count still hurts in 2020. Even with just 4 airbags, the X50 scored the full 5-star ASEAN NCAP crash safety rating. But I would still recommend that you go for at least the executive with 6 airbags. Remember, side curtain airbags are the only ones covering your rear passengers. The first 4 are all for the driver and front passenger only. The X50 Executive is priced just under 85,000 ringgit, making it over 5,000 ringgit more than the standard. The extra adds on front parking sensors, LED fog lamps, and automatic function for the headlamps, leather-wrapped steering wheel, full black leatherette seats, and the crucial 2 additional airbags. Other things shared between the standard and executive models include an electronic parking brake with auto hold, manually adjustable driver's seat, 4 speakers, manual aircon with N95 cabin filter, and dedicated rear vents with USB chargers. The smaller 8-inch touchscreen display in the center is the same with the standard too. It supports high Proton voice commands, online navigation through AMAP, online music streaming through Jukes, Bluetooth, and a reverse camera. It also supports smartphone mirroring, although as we've shown before, it doesn't work well with iPhones. No Apple CarPlay or Android Auto across the entire range, unfortunately. One thing I like to point out is that the standard and the executive versions get this light grey headlining. This doesn't look nearly as sporty as the black ones in the premium and flagship, but this does give the cabin a much more spacious and airy feel to it. Now let's move on to the premium, which by the way is no longer Proton's top-of-the-line variant name. That has gone to the flagship. I'm still not a big fan of that name, but anyway, let's talk about the premium first. It's priced at 93,200 ringgit, which is over 8,000 ringgit more than the executive, but also 10,000 ringgit less than the flagship. On the outside, the premium is where the X50 really starts to get exciting. It adds on 18-inch dual-tone alloy wheels fitted with Continental Ultra Contact 6 tires, as well as red brake calipers all around. Silver roof rails also installed from here on, as are front welcome lamps on the side mirrors. You also get a full set of cameras for the 360-degree parking camera system. Inside, the interior gets a two-tone interior with a lot of dark red used on the top of the dashboard, the door cards, center armrest, and leather seats. The driver's seat is also power adjustable now. Another major upgrade is the full digital instrument cluster, complete with different themes for the 3 driving modes. A tire pressure monitoring system is fitted here too. The center touchscreen is also bigger, now measuring 10.25 inches. It largely gets the same functionalities as the smaller screen system, but here it adds on extra functionalities for the high Proton voice commands, where you can control the windows too. The Premium also adds on Proton Link app connectivity, where you can lock or unlock or even start the car to set the aircon on remotely through your smartphone. Speaker count is also up from 4 to 6. The Premium also gets automatic climate control, although it's a single zone system rather than dual zone that the interface would suggest. Another change are the window controls, where you now get auto up for all windows with the Premium. The lower variants only get auto down for all windows, but auto up only for the driver. Now let's talk about the engines. The standard executive and premium variants share the same powertrain, a 1.5-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine with multi-point injection. It makes 150 PS and 226 Nm of torque. The Flagship gains a more advanced direct injection system, with outputs upgraded to 277 PS and 255 Nm of torque. That's 27 PS and 29 Nm more for the top-of-the-range Flagship model. All variants run the same 7-speed wet dual-clutch transmission connected to the front wheels. There is a manual mode on the gear lever, but unfortunately no paddle shifters across the range. So now finally, the X50 Flagship, the one with all the fancy features that I'm sure you've seen on social media. But it also has a price to match its flagship status. This is priced at 103,300 ringgit, which makes it over 10,000 ringgit more than the premium version. That's a big gap, but I think that's understandable considering the long list of features that are exclusive to it. On the outside, it gets a black roof and side mirror caps for the trendy two-tone look. It also gets an extra camera behind the windscreen and a radar mounted on the bumper as part of its active safety systems. It's also the only one in the range to have TGDI badges on the sides. Inside, there are only minor differences between the Flagship and Premium. The Flagship adds on a full panoramic sunroof and a powered sunblind and an auto-dimming rear-view mirror. Funnily enough, the Flagship is the only variant to get auto wipers, which sounds a bit stingy to me. What's generous, however, is the list of active safety features. The X50 Flagship's Advanced Driver Assist System, or ADAS, includes Autonomous Emergency Braking, or AEB, Adaptive Cruise Control with Stop and Go, Active Lane Keep Assist, Blind Spot Warning, Auto High Beam, and Auto Park Assist. So yes, if you've been impressed by all the cool features that Proton has been shouting about all this time, do bear in mind that pretty much all of them are only on the Flagship variant. AEB, Level 2 autonomous driving features, auto parking, all Flagship only. Moving on to color options, there are 6 colors to choose from, but not all are available for all variants. The standard can only be had in Snow White, Armor Silver, and Ocean Blue, while the Executive adds on the option of Jet Grey and Citric Orange. Passion Red is exclusive to the Premium and Flagship only. All variants get a 5-year unlimited mileage warranty, 5-year free data package, and 3 times free labor service. So there you go, a detailed look at the 4 different variants of the Proton X50. For me, I've already booked myself a Flagship in Citric Orange because despite the price differences, I still think it's a fantastic value for money proposition, especially against its direct rivals. So over to you, what do you think of all the feature sets of each variant, and which one do you think is the best overall package for this car? Let me know in the comments section below. Before we end, a quick thank you to Proton Petaling Jaya Regal Motors for letting us shoot in this showroom, and for everybody else, thank you for watching and stay safe everyone.